asked if I wanted to host Ask This Old House in This Old House. So much out of the blue that I didn't believe it.
Tom, I can't.
Imagine a show that taught you how to fix your home, not just flip it for profit. That's the world Kevin O'Connor stepped into. But his path to this old house was anything but ordinary. From a banker's desk to a builder's legacy, his story is packed with twists, health mysteries, industry battles, and whispers of what's next. Stay with us to uncover the man behind the tool belt, whose life is as layered as the homes he restores. In 2003, a single email about peeling wallpaper sparked a chain of events that would rewrite one man's destiny and redefine home improvement television. Kevin O'Connor, a banker with no spotlight experience, stepped into a world he never expected, becoming the heart of This Old House, a show that's been a beacon for DIY enthusiasts for decades. His journey from corporate success to television stardom is a tale of grit, chance, and an unshakable love for building. But lately, whispers about his future have stirred the airwaves. What's really going on with Kevin O'Connor, and why are fans buzzing with anticipation? Picture a kid in Maplewood, New Jersey, surrounded by the hum of drills and the scent of fresh lumber. Born in 1968, Kevin O'Connor grew up in a home where construction wasn't just a job. It was a way of life. His father, a civil engineer, turned their family home into a living workshop, with Kevin and his 6 siblings, 4 brothers and 2 sisters, passing tools instead of toys. By age 10, Kevin could measure wood with precision, hang drywall like a pro, and decipher blueprints while his peers were mastering kickball. This wasn't just a childhood. It was a masterclass in building that would shape his future in ways he couldn't yet imagine. How did those early days of sawdust and scaffolding set the stage for a television empire? Life, however, had other plans. At 19, Kevin faced a moment that could have derailed everything. During military training, he started collapsing, his body betraying him without warning. Doctors pinpointed a heart murmur, a diagnosis that cast a shadow over his military aspirations. To make matters stranger, his medical records from that time vanished, leaving a frustrating gap that would haunt him later when he tried to piece together his health history. This wasn't just a health scare, it was a crossroads. With his original path in question, Kevin had to rethink his entire future. What would he do next, and how would this setback redefine his dreams? Undeterred, Kevin turned to education to carve a new path. He graduated from St. Benedict's Preparatory School in Newark in 1986, where the school's strict discipline sharpened his focus. He then pursued a history degree at the College of the Holy Cross, graduating in 1990. History might seem an odd choice for a future TV host, but it taught him to dig deep, connect ideas, and explain complex concepts clearly, skills that would later shine on screen. Not stopping there, Kevin earned an MBA from Boston University in 1999, a move that propelled him into the fast-paced world of banking. By his early 30s, he was a senior vice president at Bank of America, overseeing multi-million-dollar real estate portfolios and living the corporate dream. But was this high-flying life truly what he wanted? Despite the corner office and hefty paychecks, something tugged at Kevin's heart. The echo of drills, the feel of a well-built wall. These childhood memories never faded. In 2003, he stunned his colleagues by walking away from banking, chasing a spark he couldn't ignore. What could make a man at the peak of corporate success abandon it all for an uncertain leap? The answer lies in a charming but crumbling Queen Anne Victorian house in Beverly, Massachusetts, that Kevin and his wife Kathleen bought in 2003. Built in 1894, it was a dream home with a nightmare twist. Everything needed fixing. New kitchens, new bathrooms, and worst of all, wallpaper. Layers of it, painted over countless times, clinging to the walls like a stubborn ghost. For months, Kevin and Kathleen scraped and cursed, their frustration mounting. In a moment of desperation, they fired off an email to This Old House, the show they'd grown up watching, begging for advice on tackling that relentless wallpaper. Little did they know, this email was about to change everything. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. The This Old House team was launching a new spin-off, Ask This Old House, and Kevin's plea caught their attention. They offered to film a segment at his home, and Kevin was overjoyed, thinking it was a one-time visit from his renovation heroes. But when the crew arrived to shoot Season 1, Episode 22, aired on March 6, 2003, something unexpected happened. Kevin's natural curiosity lit up the set. He bombarded contractor Tom Silva with questions, barely letting him eat during breaks. The producer saw more than a frustrated homeowner. They saw a star. Was this the moment Kevin's life would take a dramatic turn? After the shoot, Kevin snapped a photo with the crew, certain he'd never see them again. But 3 weeks later, while sitting at his Bank of America desk, his phone rang. It wasn't a client. It was the This Old House producers offering him the chance to host not just the spin-off, but the flagship show itself. Kevin thought it was a joke. He even asked his boss to hold his job, convinced he'd be back in a year. But the offer was real, and the producers were betting big on a banker with no TV experience. How would he fare, stepping into such a storied role? Kevin was walking into a legacy with deep roots. This Old House, launched in 1979 with Bob Vila as its charismatic host, had become a household name. But Vila's exit in 1989 was messy. Earning just $200 per episode initially, and later $800, Vila faced a tough choice when lucrative endorsement deals came calling. Choosing the money over the show, he was let go by PBS, a decision that sent shockwaves through the industry. Steve Thomas stepped in, hosting for over a decade before passing the torch to Kevin. Now Kevin had to honor this legacy while carving out his own place. Could he live up to the challenge? For over 2 decades, Kevin has been the steady hand guiding this old house through its evolution, now in its 46th season as of 2025. The show has earned 19 Emmy Awards and nearly 100 nominations, a testament to its enduring appeal, This Old House Wikipedia. Kevin's recent projects, like renovating a 1960s mid-century modern home for a family with accessibility needs and transforming an 1887 Victorian for multi-generational living, show his knack for blending tradition with innovation. WTOP News. Beyond TV, he's expanded his reach with the Clear Story podcast and his book The Best Homes from This Old House, This Old House. But whispers of change have emerged. In June 2025, rumors about Kevin's potential departure from This Old House reached a fever pitch. Fans speculated wildly, wondering if their beloved host was stepping away. In a recent statement, Kevin finally addressed these rumors, and his words left even his biggest fans stunned. House Digest. What did he reveal, and what does it mean for the future of the show? When Steve Thomas slipped away from This Old House in 2003, after 14 years and an Emmy win, his departure left a void that sent ripples through the show's loyal fan base. No grand farewell, no heartfelt goodbye, just a quiet exit to chase sailing and skiing dreams. Viewers were left puzzled, wondering who could possibly step into the role of a host who had made the show a household name. Producers, under pressure to find a worthy successor, sifted through over 400 candidates, each vying to carry the torch of America's most trusted home improvement series. But the answer wasn't in a polished resume or a rehearsed audition tape. It was in a man who had never set foot on a TV set. Could a banker with no broadcasting experience really take the helm? Kevin O'Connor, still navigating the corporate world at Bank of America, had no idea his life was about to change. As detailed in Part 1, his desperate email to This Old House about stubborn wallpaper in his Beverly, Massachusetts home led to a filmed segment for Ask This Old House. That moment, captured in Season 1, Episode 22, wasn't just about peeling paint. It was a screen test in disguise. Producers saw something rare in Kevin, a spark of curiosity, a natural ease on camera, and a relatability that couldn't be faked. Sitting in a basement on beach chairs, chatting with the show's creator, Russell Morash, Kevin received an offer that felt like a fever dream. Morash later said, as noted in a House Digest article, that Kevin embodied the perfect mixture of optimism and energy, qualities essential for any homeowner tackling a renovation. But could he prove himself in a world where every mistake would be broadcast to millions? Stepping onto the set, Kevin wasn't greeted with fanfare. Instead, Richard Trethewey, the show's tough-as-nails plumbing expert, thrust a shovel into his hands and pointed to a ditch. This wasn't a staged moment for the cameras. It was real, back-breaking work. Digging sewer lines under Richard's watchful eye, Kevin faced a silent challenge. Was he here to play a part, or to earn his place. Every blister and bead of sweat was a lesson in humility. He later reflected, as shared in a This Old House profile, that those early days taught him to listen more than he spoke, letting the experts lead. How would a corporate executive fare in this gritty, hands-on world? Tom Silva, the master carpenter, wasn't any gentler. He didn't hand Kevin a prop saw for show. He demanded precision cuts on real projects, knowing the cameras would catch every slip. Off camera, Kevin spent hours learning to wield tools with care, measure with accuracy, and move without slowing the crew dot. This wasn't just about hosting. It was about becoming part of a team that valued craft over charisma. Viewers noticed. They saw a man who stumbled, learned, and grew, just like they did in their own homes. Kevin's authenticity turned him into a mirror for the audience, reflecting their own DIY struggles and triumphs. Could this approach redefine what a TV host could be? Barely a year into his tenure, in 2004, Kevin stunned the industry with an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Service Show Host. Critics who had scoffed at a banker-turned-host were silenced. Unlike predecessors, Bob Vila and Steve Thomas, who built their reputations over years, Kevin's impact was immediate. His curiosity and willingness to learn alongside experts like Tom and Richard resonated deeply, as noted in a This Old House article. He wasn't just presenting projects, he was living them, transforming interviews into collaborative lessons that taught millions. Was this the secret to his meteoric rise? Kevin's influence reshaped This Old House. He didn't stand on the sidelines asking questions. He jumped in, hammer in hand, learning the craft alongside the crew. This hands-on style made the show feel raw and real, a stark contrast to the polished renovations flooding cable TV. His approach carried over to Ask This Old House, launched in 2002, where he visited real homes to solve real problems. By 2025, the show had run for over 2 decades with Kevin as its anchor, as confirmed by Wikipedia. He also hosted Inside This Old House, offering behind-the-scenes glimpses into the franchise's storied projects, all while still balancing his banking job until he was certain this new path would last. How did he juggle so much without losing his footing? In 2010, Kevin took a bold leap into commercial television with This New House on the DIY Network, co-hosted with Amy Matthews. The show, focusing on smart home tech and modern building methods, earned 2 Emmy nominations, proving Kevin's versatility, as highlighted in a WTOP News interview. He explained complex concepts in plain language, making them accessible to everyone. This ability to bridge technical expertise and everyday understanding became his hallmark. But what would happen when he decided to speak out against the industry? Kevin's voice grew louder, and not everyone was ready for what he had to say. In a candid interview, he called out modern DIY shows, slamming them as crap for their unrealistic timelines and budgets. His words, reported by House Digest, ignited a firestorm. Some praised his honesty, agreeing that glossy makeovers misled homeowners. Others saw it as arrogance, accusing him of gatekeeping the genre. Kevin stood firm, arguing that shows like those on HGTV prioritized profit over craft, encouraging wasteful flips rather than lasting renovations. This wasn't just a critique, it was a declaration of values, pitting PBS's educational mission against cable's entertainment-driven model. Did his boldness risk alienating fans, or would it cement his legacy? Beyond television, Kevin poured his passion into print. In 2011, he published The Best Homes from This Old House, a book co-created with his college friend Mike Casey, featuring over 200 photos of the show's most stunning transformations. It wasn't just a showcase of beautiful homes, it was a love letter to craftsmanship and the stories behind each project. The book's success led to Kevin joining the editorial board of This Old House magazine, shaping the brand across platforms, as noted in a Boston University article. His influence was undeniable, but how did he balance this growing empire with his personal life? As Kevin O'Connor's star ascended, so did the weight of expectations. His fearless critique of modern DIY shows sent shockwaves through the industry, accusing them of peddling unrealistic dreams that could harm homeowners' projects. Cable TV stars countered, arguing their shows inspired everyday people to transform their spaces. The rift grew, but Kevin held his ground, his passion for genuine craftsmanship unwavering. Yet, what intrigued fans even more was what he chose not to say. Why had he never spoken about Bob Vila, the man who launched this old house only to leave in controversy? For over 2 decades, Kevin avoided mentioning Vila, whose 1989 exit followed a clash over endorsement deals. Insiders suggest this silence was deliberate, a savvy move to sidestep old tensions and maintain alliances in a tight-knit industry. Vila, still a prominent figure, cast a long shadow, but Kevin focused forward, preserving harmony while building his own legacy. His restraint revealed a man who valued progress over petty disputes, a trait that defined his leadership. Kevin's voice, however, roared when defending the builders of the past. He championed their ingenuity, noting that their choices, like skipping insulation in coal-rich eras, made sense for their time. Modern critics, he argued, judged too harshly without context. He also questioned the tiny house trend, insisting that efficiency trumped size. A sprawling, well-crafted home could outshine a shoddy small one, he'd say, sparking debates with eco-experts. Kevin didn't shy from controversy if it meant educating his audience, a mission that fueled his every move. Behind the scenes, Kevin's life was a masterclass in balance. His net worth, estimated between $5 million and $7.68 million, reflected a career built on diverse streams. Hosting over 380 episodes of This Old House and Ask This Old House by 2022, he earned roughly $10,000 per episode, dwarfing Vila's early $200 paychecks. Beyond TV, Kevin's keynote speeches at events like the 2024 Equip Exposition earned him $15,000 to $50,000 each, cementing his industry influence. As CEO of Bridge, he managed $5.1 million in stocks, generating $1.5 million annually, a nod to his banking roots, where he structured multi-million-dollar deals. Kevin's lifestyle, though affluent, leaned toward meaning over extravagance. He and his family lived in a breathtaking 1894 Queen Anne Victorian in Hamilton, Massachusetts, a home that mirrored his love for timeless craftsmanship. While details of luxury cars or high-end watches remain private, his wealth likely affords comfortable travel, though no private jets are documented. His business ventures, like co-founding This Old Toolbox, a DIY tool rental platform, extended his mission to empower homeowners. Though specific brand deals aren't public, his This Old House role likely drew partnerships with top home improvement brands. Insurance-wise, Kevin's cautious career shift suggests he safeguards his assets, but details stay private. His financial path teaches us to diversify income, leverage expertise, and prioritize lasting value over fleeting trends. The true test of Kevin's leadership came in October 2022, when Norm Abram, the show's soul for 43 years, retired. Norm's carpentry and warmth had defined This Old House since 1979, and his departure risked unraveling its heart. Kevin, however, orchestrated a seamless transition, introducing new talent while honoring Norm's legacy. When Roger Cook stepped away in 2020 due to health challenges, Kevin gently integrated Jen Nadel, ensuring the show's spirit endured. These moments showcased his knack for blending reverence with reinvention. Kevin's vision also transformed the show's format. Once defined by long, leisurely takes, This Old House adapted to shorter attention spans with crisp seconds-long shots. Yet its depth remained, focusing on just 2 renovations per season to unpack every detail. Kevin's questions evolved too, from curious homeowner to seasoned guide, asking why and how, to draw richer insights. This balance kept the show accessible yet profound, a rarity in a fast-paced TV landscape. Embracing the digital era, Kevin launched Clear Story in 2019, a podcast diving into home systems' hidden stories. Its 4.8-star rating and top 1% ranking proved its resonance. In 2021, a Roku partnership made all 1,150 episodes of This Old House and Ask This Old House free to stream, with a 24/7 channel broadening its reach. Kevin's co-founding of This Old Toolbox further bridged the show's lessons to real-world action, empowering DIYers with the right tools. From a banker's desk to a cultural cornerstone, Kevin O'Connor's journey is a testament to passion and adaptability. His wealth, built on TV, investments, and vision, reflects a life of purpose. His leadership through change, cast shifts, format tweaks, digital leaps kept this old house vital. From banker to builder, Kevin O'Connor's journey inspires. Love this? Share your This Old House fave below. More stories coming. He built homes and a legacy, one lesson at a time.